Ever seen an American try to fix Britain? I'm Nate Ramirez, carry-on of optimism, 3 flavors of beef jerky, and 101 solutions nobody asked for. From a Sun subscription to stop sideways rain to Uber buses, which already exist. Watch my friendship with Oliver Marsh survive every misguided upgrade until I learn the only fix the UK truly needs: fewer Americans with slide decks. I'm Nate Ramirez, a perfectly average American with a carry-on full of optimism and 3 flavors of beef jerky landing in Britain to help. My British friend Oliver Marsh, cardigan enthusiast and world-class eye roller, meets me at Heathrow like he's picking up a Labrador that learned to talk. Remember, he says we've had weather, tea, and history for quite a while. No need to improve any of it. I promise to behave. Then the country starts raining sideways. Eureka, I announce. Britain needs a Sun subscription. Install 3 giant reflective panels over Yorkshire Seasonal Premium, partly sunny plus. Oliver stares at me like I've suggested Bluetooth for Stonehenge. We call that summer, he says. We drive north through a drizzle that feels personal. I make a slide deck on my phone. 101 fixes Britain didn't ask for. Item 1, relocate Britain near Miami. Item 2, rebrand drizzle as British SPF. Oliver sighs. Our friendship will be tested. Oliver drags me onto a public footpath that slices across a farmer's field like a dotted line on Google Maps. My cousin Cole visiting from Texas wearing boots that have never seen mud freezes. Boy, y'all are about to get perforated. In Texas, this is how you meet Jesus and his attorney. Oliver explains right to Rome, which to Cole sounds like state-sponsored trespassing. I try to mediate. What if we install turnstiles and surge pricing Country Pass Plus? You tap in for cows, tap out for hedgerows. A sheep sneezes in judgment. That night we board a train to London. The carriage is quiet and the way churches wish they were. I clap my hands. Team exercise. Everyone say something you're grateful for. 40 heads rotate like a surveillance system. A ticket inspector appears deadpan as a gravestone. Grateful if you kept your voice down. I whisper. In the US, we share positivity on public transport. He nods. Here we share silence. Cole elbows me. What if they fitted the seats with smile sensors? Oliver replies. We call those fines. First London morning we hit a cafe. I pull out a $5 bill like a magician, revealing nothing up my sleeve. Keep the change. The barista smiles politely at my foreign coupon. Oliver taps my shoulder. Pounds hair Nate. I grin, right? But have you considered the global $1 coin to rule them all? Exchange rate 1 equals 1. So elegant. The barista blinks. So delusional. We wander to a post office where the rain is vertical. Cole studies the coins. Why the queen? Sorry, the king. On everything. In Texas, our currency features birds that look furious. Oliver explains monarchs, mints, and centuries. I cut in pitching a rebrand, put QR codes on coins, scan for a history short. Oliver shrugs. We tried that. It was called school. On the tube, I ask a stranger how he's doing. He looks alarmed like I've offered him a timeshare. I pivot London should install chat carriages, 1 carriage where small talk is legal. The stranger says we have those. They're called pubs. Touche. Cole whispers, do pubs serve iced tea? Thunder answers. We tour Buckingham Palace. I whisper to Oliver. Zillow says this is underutilized. What if we Airbnb the spare rooms? Palace Plus comes with ceremonial corgi. A woman in a Union Jack raincoat gasps so hard a tourist map folds itself. A guard doesn't blink, which somehow feels louder than shouting. To recover, I suggest a royal yard sale. Offload extra thrones, keep the trendy ones. Pay down the national drizzle. Oliver, you can't monetize heritage like a garage sale. Cole, in America we can. The rain agrees. At lunch, I order a Scotch egg, expecting a tumbler. The waitress brings an orb wearing sausage. I nod knowingly. Fusion cuisine. Oliver smiles. Victorian fusion egg with elbow grease. Cole pitches Scotch egg 2.0, filled with nacho cheese. The table recoils in unison, a symphony of offended jawlines. We pass souvenir shops selling tea with Churchill quotes. I propose an influencer tea blend called Subtle Shade tastes like politeness weaponized. Oliver approves the name, bans the idea. Stonehenge time. I unfold my tablet like I'm briefing NASA. Lads, hear me out. Put the stones on hydraulic lifts. Day mode for tourists, night mode for owls. The guide, a man whose soul is older than granite, says they've stood 5,000 years without hydraulics. I nod. Exactly. Time for a feature update. Cole adds, we could crane this to higher ground, better views. A British dad mutters we can't crane a pothole. The stones keep ignoring us as history does. In the gift shop, I pitch build your own henge kits, 8 pebbles, 1 rubber mallet, lifetime of regret. The cashier rings a bell labeled banishment. Oliver buys a fridge magnet to distract the staff from deporting me. On the coach ride back, I ask if the Romans left a user manual. A child in front turns and says they left roads, which segues perfectly into my next PowerPoint Britain 2.0, more roads, less traffic, faster tea. Oliver deletes it with his eyes. Dinner in Soho. Cole lectures the waiter in the States smiling equals tips. Might change your night. The waiter, calm as a cat in a sunbeam, replies. In Britain, smiling that hard means you're selling me an extended warranty. I jump in. Okay, but what about performance metrics? Eye contact per entree. The waiter glides away like a cloud that's seen too much. Bills arrive, service charge included. Cole squints. Inclusive tipping. That's socialism with better fonts. Oliver shrugs. It's arithmetic. I do a complicated tip matrix on a napkin, creating a new religion. We debate air conditioning. I propose Breeze Britain micro AC units hidden in teapots. Pour Earl Grey release Arctic vortex. Oliver says we use windows. I gasp. Manual ventilation. Like pioneer times. The room collectively sweats with dignity. Back outside, I present smile zones, small decals on sidewalks where grinning is allowed without spooking passers-by. A cyclist rings his bell once the national vote of no confidence. At a Liverpool pub, England miss a penalty. I say gently as a foghorn. Have you tried aiming? The pub turns toward me like a sunflower of menace. An old man polishes his pint and murmurs 60 years of this, and an American discovers the concept of direction. I attempt diplomacy. What about goal size inflation? Make it 5% wider. Monetize with naming rights. The optimist goal, silence. Then laughter that feels like thunder, finally choosing sides. To atone, I buy a round. Tea, someone yells. I nod. Tea. On me. The bartender thanks me with the solemnity of a knighting. Cole whispers, beer would have been cheaper. Oliver pats my shoulder, but historic. I pitch a penalty robot that calculates probability and shouts, top left, darling. A man in tweed says we had one. It was called Hope. We observe a national minute of smiling with lips only. I sign a mental treaty, no more sports advice. I last 9 minutes. Brighton. I order tea, take a sip, and blurt, it tastes earnest. The server narrows her eyes. You asked for English breakfast, not American brunch. Cole suggests a fix, use lip. He doesn't finish. The entire cafe inhales like a Victorian faint. The server whispers, that's not tea. That's hot apology water. I propose extreme tea bungee from the pier while sipping Earl Grey through a spill-proof sippy lid. Oliver, we already have that. It's called the weather. We compromise on a new sport, speed steep. 2 minutes to brew, lifetime to judge. At the Pier Arcade, Cole pitches beer pong tournaments to bring the youth. A local explains, we don't throw beer. We respect it first. I try Alaball, you score by praising the malt profile. The local nods. At last, a civilized game. Then he beats me by describing caramel notes with devastating accuracy. Museum Day. Cole points at a 1400s tapestry needs dry cleaning. Maybe brighten the palette, go viral. The guide smiles thinly. We tried neon in the 80s. It clashed with the Black Death. I whisper, what about AR overlays? Hold your phone up, boom, dragon breath instant drama. The guide. We already have imagination. We shuffle to Shakespeare. I suggest modern translations. Put it in standard American, cut the thous, keep the drama. An Oxford professor looks at me the way a hawk looks at warm bread. He already writes in English. I retreat, proposing popcorn intermissions. The usher says this is tragedy, not a multiplex. Cole, but tragedy pairs well with nacho cheese. The usher, so does despair. At the crown jewels, I lean to Oliver. What if these are replicas, real ones in Fort Knox? A beefeater materializes like a moral. Sir, the replicas are your theories. I salute history and leave empty except for shame and a magnet. Supermarket safari. Cole declares the aisles adorably narrow and the trolleys go-karts. He delivers a TED Talk on bulk economies, one yogurt rookie numbers. You need 48. Oliver counters, we own fridges, not walk-ins. I propose a compromise, nano Costco memberships limited to your pantry. Cole unveils his class decoder, Waitrose equals aristocrat. Sainsbury's aspirational. Tesco gritty hero. A woman with a reusable bag says you forgot little chaos with bargains. I chart it on an index card and call it the social snack tangle. Oliver tears it up before it reaches anthropology. At checkout, the cashier asks, do you need a bag? I pitch emotional bags come with affirmations. You are reusable. The cashier blinks. We had those. They were called canvas. Outside, I tap to trolley, a payment sound that says cheers in 5 regional accents. A seagull steals my pasty mid-sentence, grating my plan with claws. Transport time. I present my manifesto to the Transport for London help desk. Roundabouts are chaos donuts. Replace with 4-way stops. Democracy at intersections. A woman in a high-vis vest smiles kindly. Sweetheart, our chaos is faster than your order. On the train, the inspector checks tickets. I whisper, turnstiles would do this. Oliver counters, turnstiles don't explain things when they go wrong. The inspector, overhearing, nods once the queen's nod. Now the king's neither confirming nor denying. Cole wants Uber buses rideshare, but bus-shaped. A man in a raincoat says, you've invented buses. Cole glows, we iterate. The man sighs, and we wait. I propose National Quiet Carriage sponsorship brought to you by Library Perfume. Oliver says it already has a sponsor silence. Messages pop up on my phone. Please stop improving us. I put the phone on airplane mode and feel oddly free. Health chat in a GP waiting room. Cole declares, you need competition. Yelp your doctors. 5 stars, didn't die. An elderly woman chuckles. My dear, we had stars. They were on the nurse's brooches. I pitch a Cuber AI that texts witty updates, your turn in 7 minutes. Brew a tea. A nurse replies, that's my job, love. Oliver explains the NHS like a bedtime story for adults, imperfect, beloved, free at the point of use. I suggest a premium tier NHS Plus includes optional small talk. The room objects and one synchronized eyebrow raise. At the pharmacy, I try to tip the pharmacist for speed. She slides it back with clinical grace. Save that for your busker. Outside, I draft a startup paracetamol prime delivered by apologetic cyclists. Oliver says we already have that. They're called teenagers. We end with tea. I propose a health slogan, hydrate with dignity. Oliver clinks mugs. That will keep. We detour to Wales. The signs bloom with consonants like botanical gardens for letters. Cole whispers, looks like Wi-Fi passwords. A local says gentle but edged. It's Welsh. I beam. Language diversity. Now tiny tweak tourist subtitles under town names. The local smiles. We have those. They're called maps. We mispronounce a village so badly a sheep files a noise complaint. At the pub, Cole orders and the bartender replies in Welsh. Cole panics. I tried diplomacy. We're new here. Our tongues have jet lag. The bartender laughs and switches to English, then teaches us diolch. It tastes like wind and kindness. On the coast, I pitch a Celtic karaoke night, sing along to sea shanties in 3 languages, subtitles optional. Oliver says that's called Friday. We watch the tide do wise things and say nothing, a multilingual conversation we almost understand. Guy Guy Fawkes night. Bonfires bloom like gossip. Cole whispers, so, you're celebrating. Stopping a rebellion. That's cheerful. Oliver shrugs. We like fireworks and mixed feelings. I propose a US-UK joint holiday, moderately successful uprisings day. Nobody bites. At the Oxford-Cambridge boat race, Cole says, this is adorable. Where's the marching band? The corporate blimp, a woman in a college scarf, replies, you're looking at the blimp. I suggest halftime commentary from a soggy philosopher who only quotes Heraclitus. Oliver says we already have the Thames. Later at a wedding, the best man hands over the rings without a PowerPoint. Cole stands to fix the role. In America, the best man runs logistics like a general. The room stares. The grandmother of the bride lifts a single eyebrow, the ceremonial veto. Cole sits. The tea round resumes democracy restored. We duck into a student union bar. Cole see 18-year-olds with pints. Wildly irresponsible, he declares. A student replies, so we learn responsibly before it's all car keys in suburbia. I propose consent coasters QR codes linking to safety resources and free water refills. The bar manager nods. That fix will take. At an office in Manchester, an American consultant, not us thank heavens, pitches banned tea rounds productivity killer. The staff briefly considers revolution. I interject, what if you standardize the round with a Kanban board task brew? Status steeping. The floor manager laughs. We already have metrics. It's called Who Remembers My Oat Milk. We try to pour a Guinness in rural Scotland. Cole corrects the bartender on the two-part pour. The bartender smiles, finishes the pint perfectly, and says, I like that. Cole whispers, did he just thank me for being wrong? Yes, I say. That was hospitality with a black belt. Weather again, always weather. I unveil my magnum opus project sunbeam mirror arrays in the North Sea, reflecting light onto Birmingham like a cosmic ring light. Oliver, we prefer our pours. At a seaside cafe in Cornwall, Cole asks for iced tea. The waitress smiles. We prefer it like our forecast, lukewarm with drama. I offer a compromise coldish tea served at 14 degrees C with counseling for Americans. A gull steals a chip and nods, which I take as regulatory approval. We designed the Brit Starter Kit a windproof umbrella that still flips inside out, for tradition a map that only works if you refuse to ask directions, and a card of approved phrases. Sorry, lovely, bit much. Cheers, ta. It fits in a pocket and weighs a lifetime. That night, the BBC shows an advert-free documentary. Cole twitches expecting car insurance. Oliver says license fee. Cole whispers, you pay for silence. Yes, Oliver says, it's civilization you can hear. Final lap in London traffic. Cole demands intersections, the roundabout pirouettes anyway, moving cars like a polite hurricane. Chaos, he mutters. Choreography, Oliver corrects. I pitch a smart roundabout that compliments drivers. Graceful merge, darling. The cabbie grins. Make it say, indicate you melon, and I'll invest. We stroll past a dartboard. Cole says, televise this, you'd have a sport. The publican gestures at a flat screen showing a world championship. We already did. Cole nods, recalibrating reality. At the bus stop, I craft Uberbus 2.0 shared rides on fixed routes. A teenager says, congrats, you've discovered buses. He presses the stop button like a mic drop. For dinner, fish and chips. Cole suggests kale chips for the wellness demographic. The friar, a philosopher in an apron, replies, our wellness is pleasure. We eat quietly, which is both agreement and vinegar. Departure day. We walk a Peak District path. No turnstiles, no surge pricing, just mud that remembers Romans. Cole pauses. Back home, this would be posted with warnings. Oliver gestures at the open field. Here the warning is the sky. I breathe in rain that seems older than advice. Okay, I admit maybe Britain doesn't need fixing. Oliver smiles. Oh, it absolutely does. We just prefer complaining to consultants. At the airport, I rewrite my deck to a single slide. Suggested improvements, 1T. 2. Patience. 3. Fewer Americans with slides. Cole adds 4. One iced tea seasonal. Oliver adds 5. An umbrella that works. We laugh order one last lukewarm brew and clink cups. On the plane, I jot a final note. Some places function like good jokes. You ruin them if you explain too much. The cloud sea parts, a silver Thames scribbles below, and somewhere a pub practices the ancient sport of not making eye contact. Perfectly.